All right, so Summer Games Fest is over. We had Nintendo, Xbox, PlayStation, and Jeff Keighley. They all gave their own shows. I wish they all did live shows with a host, just like Jeff Keighley did. But like, maybe we'll get back to that. Maybe we'll get back to that because there was that one video going around for inside of the Nintendo store. They were showing the reactions for everyone, especially throughout the Ocarina of Time remake announcement at the end. So I don't know. I feel like we might be going full circle to like the whole E3 experience. That's just me though. But I do think talking about the elephant in the room, Ocarina of Time remake, huge, huge. Like I actually think Nintendo could just release Ocarina of Time November. If there's a game that could probably go up against GTA 6, it's that one. If there's one that can stand up against the giant that GTA 6 is going to be, it's going to be Ocarina of Time. But, we'll have to see what it looks like. They obviously just teased us with that small teaser of Link. But that's all. I'm going to buy this Switch too, I think, when the new Legend of Zelda comes out. Which is interesting because it kind of lines up maybe like around a month or two from now, we might get the full trailer for Ocarina of Time, and that just lines up perfectly when I'm thinking the pre-orders for the game and possibly a limited edition Switch 2 console comes out. It's just like at the exact time when the Switch 2 is gonna get its price hike. So, coincidence? I don't think so. I think people are gonna buy it, whether the console is like $500 or $600 with tax. So. Which, now that I think about it, I might have to get the Switch 2 before the price hike because I had completely forgotten about it until like last night. So I have a tweet pulled up here by Stealth40K. I think they're an okay news source. I often look at them when I'm going throughout the day. And yeah, Ocarina of Time, huge views. This is only in the US. I'm sure they're better probably in Japan. Deltarune. I feel like Nintendo and Toby Fox are like this. Like I'm actually excited to see what Toby Fox is gonna do when he's done with Deltarune, because I think it's gonna be 7 chapters, right? And we have chapter 5 coming out this year as a free update, nonetheless. So I thought that was impressive, and I'm surprised Kingdom Hearts 4 has less views on YouTube than Deltarune, but maybe we can go check it out. Let me see. All right, let me see. We have Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time has... You guys can't really see it here because I have it cropped, but we can just take a look here. Ocarina of Time has 1.7 million views. So actually, yeah, this tweet's pretty accurate. So yeah, Deltarune has 1 million views. Like that's for a free update too. Like holy. So I don't know. I see a huge future ahead for Toby Fox after he's done with Deltarune. Whether or not he has his next idea planned out, or whether or not he plans to, have a bigger development team, I think he can pull it off. Let's see. Regarding Xenoblade Genesis, I have a tweet here as well from that the same composers from the previous few games are coming back, especially Manami Kiyota, and I think she was heavily involved in the first. I think she's been involved in like every single one, but specifically like the first Xenoblade Chronicles. And I was trying to look at her website, which is extremely pretty. I need to work on my own website. I need to work on my portfolio. I don't know where my translate button is, but I can see she's heavily involved in other games as well, and she has a shop. I'm gonna bookmark this. Oh my god, this looks great. Moving on. Yeah, we had some of the JRPGs that were announced, I think, in the Nintendo Direct. They're also coming to Xbox. So we have Kingdom Hearts 4, Final Fantasy. I'm going to be buying all these games on the Xbox. Like, I'm extremely excited that we're finally getting a lot of JRPGs. And I'm happy to see Atelier Carria. Like, I'm a huge Atelier fan. I've been an Atelier fan since like the PS3. See, I kind of like bookmark stuff. Like this is kind of like a rough. I have like a rough script here of things that I want to talk about, but at the same time, I'm not really. I kind of just bookmark things that happen throughout the weekend. Like a big controversy, and I don't want to say controversy because that's like giving it a lot more fuel than it deserves. It's like the how people are looking at Link in the trailer. Everyone's like, there's a huge debate of people saying that, oh, it's too realistic, it looks ugly, but we've only seen him sleeping and it's a night shot. And this screenshot, for example, has been brightened. It's gonna look good. There's no way, Nintendo's very meticulous. They're gonna think about every single detail. I think it's gonna look great. People are thinking it might look like the Wii U tech demo that we got like 10, 13 years ago. But it could, honestly. And this is probably going to lay the foundations for more remakes to come down the line, because I think Nintendo's starting to realize that games are taking longer and longer each generation to develop. We had the Mario Odyssey team work on Donkey Kong Bonanza, and that took a few years. So it's going to be a few more years until the next mainline Mario adventure game. So I would not be surprised if next year we get like a Mario 64 remake, or they start remaking like the 2D old school Mario games and they make them 3D. I don't know. I feel like we're going to start getting way more remakes, because we're also getting to the end of the line with Nintendo Switch Online, right? We have GameCube. They still have yet to add DS, 3DS, Wii. And what comes after that, right? That's like another 2-3 years from now, maybe 4. What comes after that? Like, Nintendo wants to keep enticing people to pay for Nintendo Switch Online. So, like, I would not be surprised if they also come up with like their own Game Pass, PlayStation Plus games catalog kind of thing with like Switch One games. Like, I feel like after Wii, after 3DS, they're just gonna start adding Switch, like full on Switch games. Like, I think that's where it's gonna go. But yeah, so yeah, I think we're gonna be getting remakes for Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, and then Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. I think they're all just coming. I think it's just a matter of time now. I think 10 years ago we had the whole, debacle online. All the companies started seeing that there was a huge gold mine of money to be made with battle royale games. So it's like everyone went and did that. But now we see Capcom, for example, they're having huge success with their remakes, but they're not just making remakes. They're making new games. They usually manage to fit in a new game between a new remake. So it's like they keep the story going. There's enough games that were made in the last 20 years, almost 30 years, that they can just keep remaking games for like another 10 years maybe. We still have Code Veronica 0, 1, 5, 6, Revelations 1 and 2, and then we have like all the spin-offs that came out for the PS2 and the Wii. So it's like there's like so many more games, and they can probably think about more spin-offs to make down the line. They just don't have to make old remake and sequel. They could just make like Revelations 3, or they can make more co-op games. But all right, so I'm a huge sucker for Halo, and the Halo remake, since we're in the topic of remake, looks amazing. It's going to have 4-player co-op. There's no multiplayer. So I hope they bring something else to entice us, like a firefight mode or something. Because technically this is the first time, official time, that we see the Flood since ODST. We didn't have Flood Halo 4. We didn't have Flood Halo 5 or Infinite. I thought we would have had Flood in Infinite. That would have made sense. But we have Skulls, we have campaign, we have co-op. I hope there's a horde mode, right? I hope there's something else. Or else people are going to play the campaign with three extra missions. They're going to... And then it's over. I know Halo is probably... It's known for its endless replayability, but at the same time, the original Xbox game had multiplayer, even though it was just local. So I hope there's like something to do. Something else to do, but nonetheless, I'm pretty excited about it. It looks amazing. I know there's controversies for everything now. Maybe it's just my algorithm, but every time I see an announcement being made or a remake being announced, it's just like constant a constant flux of people just wondering like, oh no, but it's like, I'm pretty hyped. Yes, it's the third time we see this game being remade or remastered, remixed, but wow, look at that. He went up the mountain just to do that. Holy. Amazing. I can't wait. Right. This has been popping up on my feed the last couple of days. We have Jeff Keighley and Hideo Kojima just like making friends again. Like everyone was making a huge meme that they like divorced because obviously we all know Jeff Keighley loves Hideo Kojima because every single time he makes time for Hideo to showcase his games, it's always like a big chunk of like the Game Awards. It's like they usually give like 2-3 minutes to anyone else, but like Hideo Kojima gets like 10, 15. But I love these two. They can do no wrong, in my opinion. Keep them coming. Keep making games. Oh, look, we had a new lineup for the June PlayStation Plus Extra, which honestly, I might stop paying. I realized I was still paying for PlayStation Plus, and I was like, I don't know if I should continue, because PlayStation is technically the console I play the least on. And most of the games that I play on, they're like the exclusives. So, you know, I still play The Last of Us multiplayer. I love that. The community's still going strong, surprisingly, after like, it's been so long, 12 years. But it's fine. I'm glad Xbox lowered the price of Game Pass, though, to be honest. Well, yeah, this is something I wanted to talk about. It's more like a speculation from my part, but I saw this tweet like last night, and someone was like, oh my god, you can play Asura's Wrath, and it's a 360 game, backwards compatibility. And I was thinking, I remember the backwards compatible team for Xbox mentioned that they were gonna announce something this year, right? So I hope they announce full backwards compatibility. I truly hope that they announce, hey, now you can just put in any disc, because we know they have a working emulator on the back end for the Xbox, and we know that probably every single game works. Maybe not. I remember some games needed some adjustment, but I hope they just come out swinging and be like, everything's backwards compatible now, because you know we're not dealing with the Xbox One, right? Because I remember when Reach came out, holy input lag. Oh, that took a lot of updates to get it working. Also, Mass Effect 1. So, I don't know. There's a few games I still want to play, like Blur and Remember Me. I want to play them on my Series X. I want to finish achievement hunting those, but a man can dream. Right. Resident Evil Veronica, which is interesting how they did the trailer. It was like RE5. It was a V for Veronica, but it's like internally, this is known as like what, the fifth now, RE5. So even though it says Resident Evil Veronica, but it's a play on words, maybe. I don't know. Same team that developed 2 and 4. Like, yeah, we're gonna be eating good after what happened with 3, because I know Resident Evil 3 had like a lot of people didn't seem to like it. Too short. They didn't incorporate a lot of things that was there in the PS1 version. I'm pretty sure they learned. Oh, look, it says right here in the tweet itself. It says Capcom shut down the fan theory that V in Resident Evil V is supposed to stand for the number 5. Rather, they wanted it to make it more impactful, similar to the other entries. I stand corrected. This is not 5. Okay, I stand corrected. Smaller news that probably only... oh my god. Amazing. Amazing. Yes. I kind of want to draw these two now. I kind of want to draw these two having a good time. Oh, look, Gene Park. Okay, so I want to make gaming news videos, right? Weekly, but daily, I mean, but like this is kind of casual. I don't know if I'll keep them casual. This is nice. I have the Nintendo Direct behind me. I'm recording this on my streaming software. I hope it's still recording because the timeline ended. The numbers stopped going up. Are we still recording? Are we still recording? Yes, turns out we were still recording. So that's good. I'm gonna wrap this up. I thought I was at 10 minutes, but the timer had stopped at 10, but we're almost at 20. So I'm gonna wrap this up. Gene Park here says, I don't even know if I want to read this now because there's I don't want the video to be too long. Ocarina of Time is called the Citizen Kane of video games for a reason. Anyone who makes a 3D game, they've not borrowed something from Zelda is like, okay, well, I don't know. Maybe. What else is here? Okay, small thing that I want to end on. I love the constant updates that we're getting for the Xbox UI because it was about time. I think when the Series X and S launched, I think having it be on par with the Xbox One UI was a mistake. It's functional, yes. It's familiar, yes. But is it fun? Yes, but I feel like I love every generation and we would get like a completely new experience. But I also agree that when the Xbox One came out, there were a lot of missing features, but there were a lot of cool ones too. Like I remember we had the snap feature. That was fun. It's gone now. It's gone now to save on resources. But wait, one more thing. What do I want to say? Oh yeah. God of War. Can't wait. I cannot freaking wait. I might go into depth into every game that every company had and just kind of give my 2 cents on that. But I might save that either for a weekend video because I do want to take out daily videos on this. Maybe I kind of want to do like special things on the weekend. So maybe I'll do that there because there's a lot of things that are happening daily. You know, there's Asha Sharma, the CEO of Xbox, is really doing a bunch of interviews and she's saying some like really cool stuff. You know, we have reconciling of Jeff Keighley and Hideo Kojima, which is like, I'm here for this. Give me more of this. But before I end the video, I do want to mention that I am working on commissions. I do have some animated commissions that I was working on. I plan on finishing those this week. Like, I've taken way too long on that. I'm really happy with the work that I've been doing. But I kind of want to be, you know, I don't know if I want to keep doing commissions. I still have to think about that because I do want to work on an animated animated episode or something because, hey, it's the time to work for indie animation. It is the time to make indie movies, indie pilots, anything because, I don't know, the box office is kind of speaking for itself. Amazing Digital Circus, Obsession. Granted, the other one was made by A24, but still, you know, Backrooms, they're all doing great. It is the time to be an indie content creator, indie filmmaker, indie animator, indie anything. So I am going to be putting the links to my Discord and my socials in the description. I kind of want to grow my Discord up a little bit more. So I don't know. I'm going to be changing it up. I want to do a few things, some community nights there. Maybe I'll do like a raffle at the end of the week. I don't know. Everything is kind of new here. I really want to start stepping up my content creation. So I'm going to be making more things. I'll see you guys tomorrow.